This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
This is how you envision hypnosis, isn't it? In the beginning, I felt the same way. Since then, I have been practicing psychotherapy and hypnotherapy, and I can tell you that hypnosis is a natural process. You are in a trance every day, engrossed in your work, falling asleep, waking up, and taking a bath. A scientifically based method of treatment, hypnosis has been recognized by the Scientific Advisory Board for Psychotherapy. Since 2006, hypnosis addresses your issues quickly, effectively, and cause-oriented by positively occupying the inner evaluations of your subconscious. There can only be change where it is needed. One of the most radical things you can do is to give up a fear or a vice. It is important that you recognize your strengths and potentials and work to improve them. Valeria interviews Bernhard. He is a licensed hypnotherapist, praxis owner, and keynote speaker on hypnosis from Berlin. Bernhard is a certified member of the National Guild of Hypnotists and the German Alliance of Hypnotherapists. In his KIEZ-Hypnose praxis, Bernhard works with patients suffering from addictions, sleeping disorder, burnout, depression, phobia, low self-esteem, and relationship issues. In his desire to make hypnotherapy more available to everybody, Bernhard founded HypnoBox, an app providing self-hypnosis sessions for mental and physical health issues. Each audio session is focused on targeting a specific problem, like smoking cessation, stress resilience, and overcoming jealousy, etc. Meet Bernhard at kiez-hypnose.de/en or bernhard-tewes.com/en and hypnobox.com. Here's the interview with Bernhard.
In your own words, who is Bernhard?
Bernhard is a hypnosis expert who's burning for the topic of hypnosis, hypnotherapy, who is really eager to help people and support people and finding for them their way to make their subconscious an ally. That in a short form is what my mission is here. And that's why I'm very grateful that we're talking and I'm invited again to talk with you, Valeria, about this topic and about spirituality, about hypnosis, about the subconscious, which is the topic I'm really burning for.
Yes, tell me about it. I love that too. So what inspired you to do what you're doing today, Bernhard?
Well, it was about 11 years ago. At that time, I was an event manager. I worked in Mercedes-Benz Museum. I had a very stressful job, was in charge of the whole catering of the restaurant. I was leading a team of 30 people. It was really stressful. And in that time, I was really going over my boundaries. I didn't take care of myself. I to burn out. I had panic attacks, drinking too much, smoking like crazy, having panic attacks, sleeping disorder. So the full program. And I was really doubting myself, what's going on here. And I couldn't even brush my teeth in the morning anymore because I had a chronic infection in the stomach. And every morning I tried to brush my teeth. I almost puked, and it was really annoying. I said, okay, I have to do something. So I said, I stopped smoking. And that was the thing I tried directly. But I just tried, because every time I had a stressful situation, I started smoking again and again. And I was really doubting myself and couldn't understand it, why I couldn't make it. And at that time, a hypnotherapist moved into my house randomly, and we started talking. And he explained me about hypnosis. It's like the greatest tool for change work at the moment, because the problems I have, these are subconscious problems. These are not conscious problems. Otherwise, I would have solved them already. And that was like, for me, yeah, it's true. So I said, hey, hypnosis is a nice, really great way to talk actually with your subconscious and bring the change where it's needed. There are the programs, there are the patterns, there are the habits, there are the beliefs. So I said, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And we did an appointment, and within 1 hour, I stopped smoking. Yeah, I couldn't believe it at that point, but I never had the need to smoke a cigarette again until today. And for me, that was a game changer. That was mind blowing. That there is a technique that can actually really bring in this deep change and this lasting and quick change in this subconscious smoking program. That this habit was just gone. And this was for me so unbelievable great that I say, hey, I want to share this. I want to learn this. I want to share this experience with other people. I want to work more on my own issues. I want to understand me more. I want to make my subconscious to my ally, to my friend. And I understood so much about myself, about my triggers, about why the things are there, about the causes of many problems. So that I say here, when I work in my practice, or when I'm talking about HypnoBox, my app, or I'm talking about hypnosis or giving speeches, I'm telling my story and saying, hey, I'm the living metaphor that this, what I'm talking about, is actually working. And that's what people feel when they come to me. And that's the reason I'm burning for it.
Yeah, how wonderful. Yeah, it's coming from your own experience. It's not something that you read or heard about it. It's a direct experience. Wow. How do you make sense of suffering, Bernhard? What is the root cause of suffering? Why humans suffer?
If we take it from a Buddhist perspective, then suffering is something natural. And at some point, you can say, or that's another Buddhist teaching is no mat no lotus. Which means, okay, if we don't have suffering, we could never appreciate the good things, the positive things. Yeah, and I think there is a lot of truth in it, that that also negative emotions are important emotions. Yeah, so the suffering is part of our spiritual being, of the human being. It is part of our development. The question is how we deal with it and how much suffering is there. So if I tell this one of my depressive clients, he would say, "Yeah, but sorry, I suffered now enough, and I don't see any lotus. I don't see any light." If I'm talking with someone who is has a general anxiety, he would say also, "Hey, I'm always in the red zone. I'm never coming into green zone with my emotions, and there is where therapy is needed, of course, to help the people getting out of it, to get into the green zone, to deal with their triggers, to deal better with their emotions, to understand it, but also to change subconscious programs and beliefs that are leading to too much suffering. So suffering is necessary, but too much suffering is, of course, not wanted.
Yes, so that resonates true to me. That this reality, the physical reality, it almost implies suffering in a way. I know that sometimes some of us are very naive when it comes to suffering. We don't want to suffer. We try to push away, escape from it, but it is inherent. It's part of this reality.
Exactly, and somehow it will come back to you. Yes, you can try to escape from it, or go into drugs, into alcohol, or into whatever. That is then the typical escapism. And everyone knows that, and everyone is doing that from time to time. So okay, right now I need some distraction, and this might work for some time. And I still believe from time to time it's okay to do that. But it's also important to learn how to sit also with negative emotions, how to deal with them, and knowing, hey, this is also passing. This is also going. But we're not, of course, talking about a level of negative emotions, of suffering, which is handleable. They're also like really, really sick and diseases where it's not handleable anymore without support.
Right. That's a big part of it, isn't it? Being humble enough to ask for help, to be guided, right?
Oh yes. And I mean, we're here in a especially in Germany, in a generation now, or my generation, I'm born in the 80s, where we do now the work that our parents and the generations before, where was also war inside, didn't do. So we do now the work for all the generations before, and that we learn now to ask for help, especially I'm talking about men, or it is very hard, or still hard, but it's changing, to ask for help. And I always say, hey, this is a sign for strength to ask for help. And it is showing, hey, you are strong, that you can say, hey, I'm needing support to see, hey, I have an issue here, I have a weakness, or I'm sick, whatever it is, or just to realize, okay, I'm having a problem here. If it's or if it's just I'm drinking too much, or I'm having this triggers or this habit, I'm not just saying, oh, I am like this. No, hey, there is room for change, or room to improve, or for room to communicate better, or to understand yourself better. This is still an ongoing and spiritual path, I believe, for everyone, to take care well of yourself, which is never ending, because you will always have things that are changing from the outside, things that might trigger you, things that giving you emotions where you have to take care of, okay, am I buying now, shopping things that are good for me, or am buying just chips and chocolate? So this is an ongoing process which will never end, and that is the spiritual path.
Yes. That's a very good message, right? Because sometimes we have this idea, the misunderstanding that once we become enlightened, or once we know the truth, then everything falls into place. We don't suffer anymore. Life is beautiful. But there's a big difference between realities, right? The absolute reality, spiritual reality, and the physical reality. They're not the same.
Exactly, and when I talk to therapists of all kinds of techniques, therapy, of course, can give you a very deep understanding of what is happening. But even if the therapy ends, the process isn't over, learning is, okay, to realize over and over again, this is now the pattern. Be more and more quickly conscious about patterns on the conscious level. If we're coming back to hypnosis, we are trying to open the door to the subconscious in a hypnotic state where the subconscious is much more receptive and much more open for new ideas of thinking and behavior. Yeah. So what happens in hypnosis is that the bouncer that's protecting the subconscious is stepping aside so that new ideas of thinking and behavior can sink in more easily. Yeah?
So going back to the hypnotherapy, I have a question for you. What is the difference between the subconscious and the unconscious?
Well, it's more a form of definition from different schools. So the unconscious is more from the Freudian definition, and the subconscious is more from let's say hypnotherapeutic view. Yeah, it mostly from what we means actually the same from my perspective. Yeah, we just call it the same. So subconscious is actually everything that is not conscious, and unconscious is actually everything that is not conscious. Yeah, but if you're talking to an analyst, Freudian analyst, he would probably answer differently.
Yeah, I noticed that the different people answer this question differently. They seem to be one and the same to me, but yes, from an expert, that would look very different. They might find nuances. So another question, the open questions that I have for you here, is about mental health. How do you define mental health? What is to be mentally healthy?
I think mentally healthy is if you know yourself well. For me, mentally healthy, if you are content, and if you taking good care of yourself. This is for me mentally healthy. Yeah. And this is something that is happening during your life, but to learn that, it's nothing that you learn in school. Yeah, to take care of yourself, to understand your thoughts, and when I think about my teenage time, oh my God, and I talked to a friend who's coming from depth therapy, and she said, actually, every teenager is actually a borderliner, is actually emotional unstable, because they don't learn how to deal with all these emotions and this intensity. That's why they are teenagers creating that drama, because they need to go out with this emotion. They can't contain it. They can't hold it. That's why all this drama at home, everything. So this is also something that even teenagers don't learn or don't understand. Hey, how to deal with all these emotions, or some even new emotions. Love, jealousy, whatever is coming up. So in that case, I wouldn't say they are not mentally healthy. They just don't understand how their feelings work, how their mind work, how everything works yet. And this is a path as well. But I see that there is still a lot to teach also teenagers, how to deal better with that, how to understand better with that, and also parents who don't know how to deal with that. I find that very interesting, and it's just an example how different. The people say, "Hey, he's not mentally healthy." Well, this person may just not have learned to deal or to contain emotions. Yeah, and I think at that point where you learn more often to realize, oh, there's a red button, there is a trigger. You can change that.
Mm. Yeah, that's the beautiful work of self-awareness, isn't it? And I love that you added self-love there, taking care of oneself as part of being mentally healthy. What came to me when you said understanding your thoughts, I have a feeling from experience, obviously being a human being, that a lot of times that I don't choose, and not even a lot of times really, that I don't choose my thoughts, that they just arise. Do you have this intuitive awareness that we are not choosing our thoughts in a way?
Let's say in hypnotherapy, we say that almost 98% of your daily decisions are made subconsciously. Yeah. So there are so many thoughts, subconscious processes that are just happening and just going on. And there is just this little bubble of consciousness that is actually happening. And it is fed from two sides. So it's a permanent exchange between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That means thoughts are popping up from the subconscious into the conscious and also disappearing again. And this is feeding itself. And also you can trigger emotions from both sides. So there can be emotions that are just starting in the subconscious where you have absolutely no idea why it's there. Let's take an example. You had a bad dream. You wake up, but you don't remember at all that dream. But during the whole day, you carry it with you the whole time. This is a typical example of how the subconscious is still feeding your emotions. On the other side, you can, of course, think of a sad situation, and this will trigger an emotion in your subconscious. So this is often an exchange, but it also shows how certain programs are running. So if you have a pattern of always focusing on the negative, of course, this pattern will repeat also on a subconscious level. And this is why we're law of attraction works. It doesn't work. Because you are focused on the things, and this will have a subconscious influence as well. So these patterns are helping us. All these patterns are blocking us. So it can go in both directions, positive and negative. And I believe how you feed it, this will have an influence on that. So if you are busy a lot with spiritual topics, if it had an influence on what is coming up, of course. If you're permanently in a fight with someone, if you have a conflict, this will appear somehow or come up somehow. There is no until it might be cleared. Otherwise, it will come over up and up and up, or it's suppressed and it comes up in your dreams, or come up through other symptoms or somatic symptoms, or anxiety or depression.
Oh, wow.
You'll find it well.
That's incredible how the inner world works and how it informs everything else that we see in the physical reality, in the emotional reality as well. Yeah, I do have this, not just the subconscious content of the mind, but all content of the mind. They're just appearing because they are thoughts that are, I see the patterns, of course. The more I have conversations like this, the more I read about spirituality, healing, and engage in positive things, the more I see the mind engaging, repeating almost those ideas with visions and all that. But then I also see things coming up that I never thought about, that I never engaged with. I thought that I never entertained. and it just comes up. That's what makes me think that we have no free will, and we are just actually free because we are free in the sense of being life itself. So free will doesn't exist.
Interesting. Well, this is such a deep philosophical question, and so my view on this is that yes, we are super influenced by our subconscious, and that most of our thoughts are coming from there. That is true, but we still have the power to decide consciously different, and that makes us free again. So in my point, yeah, we are mostly influenced by our subconscious, but we have also the possibility to reflect on that consciously, and that makes us free again.
Yes, right. Yeah, that makes sense that we have this ability as humans to observe and to become aware of the patterns of what's coming up in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a powerful practice for sure.
Yeah, that's not for everyone, for sure, because you need a certain intelligence to do that, and not just to, okay, I'm only my emotions. No,
Yes.
No, you can just follow impulsively the things. And if you haven't learned that, why ever, or you don't have the stability to like, okay, this is just an emotion, and I wait until it's over, because there are studies that your IQ is going down for 20 points if you're angry. So never make a decision when you're angry, because you're just you're just stupid in that moment. And it's scientifically shown. So this is just a part of that. That you need to know. Hey, wait, like there's something I tell with couples who are like arguing and fighting and then splitting up. I say, hey, do the 7-minute rule. Wait 7 minutes. In this time, you can calm down, and then you can think more normally. That's a good rule.
Yeah, it's the one that really also resonates with me, right? The one that we just pause and we don't react or respond to anything from the mind, in a sense. This is it's a fascinating subject, because I also see that negative emotions, when they arise, they are very much connected to the past, to traumas. So they're just repeating itself. And also, the more, if I entertain that thought, that emotion and thought, they come together, there's a feeling of separation, a disconnection with what I call life or consciousness. I feel disconnected. It's very clear to me now, that disconnect, when I'm giving attention to negative emotions that are just patterns from the past. And I wonder if they ever go away, Bernhard, after all the work that you have done on yourself and the clients that you have worked with. Did they ever go away, those negative emotions or patterns?
Possible. Yeah, definitely. There's a saying, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this is something that can happen with therapy, with hypnotherapy. So your subconscious can evaluate things differently. Trauma are normally stored in a different way than memories are stored normally. If we go on the neuro level, there are happening things in the amygdala, how trauma memories are stored and how fragmented they are stored. So what we want to do in hypnotherapy or in trauma therapy, or actually in any form of therapy, to help to process this in a way that it's not bothering anymore, that the whole evaluation of situations, of that emotions are changing. Yeah, and we all have this situation. There is no perfect childhood. So this is an illusion. Yeah, this is not happening. You can't have the perfect childhood. It's not there, because there will always moments where you might feel alone, where you haven't been completely loved, 100% unconditionally loved. This is just not happening, and that's why, and that's what we need, and that's what we're all looking for, is not always happening. And in many cases, parents are more busy with themselves than with the kids. They have a lot to process, or just passing their fears, their patterns, their lack of self-worth over. Yeah, and so passed on and on and on and on, and there we can talk now about epigenetics and how it's attached to the genes, but also this can be changed, and there comes also hypnotherapy into the game. Because we can change, we can go into the situations, we can go into emotions, we can see, is it your own emotion, or is it the emotion of your mother? Where does it come from? What is the source of that? And then heal that in hypnosis, which is such a resourceful state. And the subconscious can learn, now I feel safe in this situation. So if I feel safe in this situation, I can also feel safe in another situation that is connected to that. Yeah? And that is the experience, and the healing comes through the experience. And that's, in hypnotherapy, very, very powerful, because you actually can feel that healing is happening, that I feel safe now in a moment where I normally never felt safe. I feel safe in this very first situation where this arises, and I can tell you hundreds of stories of how certain emotions can start, and sometimes you can uncover things that you never thought of, because it's so long ago, or if people come here with self-worth topics, we might end up in the womb, and they can feel, I'm actually not wanted. Yeah, and this is already the start. How the whole thing of I'm not welcome here did actually begin. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. The more I listen to you, the more I see this beautiful approach of getting closer and closer to emotions, to feelings, whatever it is that it's here, rather than trying to escape them, because that's what addictions come from, depression, the fears, phobias, all these conditions that you help people to heal from. They come from my perspective, it has been my own experience to try to run, escape those emotions that they're very powerful. Then it didn't help. The closer I get to them, the more they seem to, it's almost like befriending them in a way, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And also embracing that, seeing that, embracing that. It sounds sometimes so easy, but it's actually much harder to do. And until I realized that I have an alcohol problem, it took some time, to really acknowledge that to yourself. Hey, you have a problem there. This is nothing you have under control anymore. This is the same pattern as you learned at home, because there you learned, hey, there's a problem. Drink something, I've been growing up, and my whole friendship, that was like cool to drink a lot. Yeah, if you can drink a lot of alcohol, you get a lot of respect, and this is of course a completely weird thing, and so you learn, okay, the more I drink, the more respect I get. If I drink, I feel for some time stronger, better, and but it's an illusion as well.
Yes, absolutely. You mentioned about children. Is that the same? I know you have also on your website as one of the services that you offer. It's for children's hypnosis. Is that the same? Do you use the same approach as with adults, or it's somewhat different?
Children are actually super easy to hypnotize because they are already in this in this state actually. So if we go to brainwaves, and this is interesting, children have mainly this theta brainwaves. Let's say until 6-7 years, mainly theta brainwaves, and this is the brainwaves that are mainly appearing for an adult when he goes into hypnosis. Yeah. So we can say we bring ourselves in this open learning state of a child. Yeah. So when a child comes, we're working a lot with visualizations. We're working a lot with in a playful way how we deal now with the fear, how we do it, how we unpack it. So it's more playful with children, more interactive with children, because they just have to close their eyes and they are there. You don't need to guide them 10-15 minutes into a trance because they're already there. So the success rate, if you work with children, if you work with teenagers, is really, really high, because they are still open. This critical factor, this bouncer, this filter that adults have is not completely there. And that is also the reason why children shouldn't watch horror movies or something, because they don't make a difference between reality and this movie, for example. I remember when I watched a horror movie, I was dreaming for 2 weeks very badly about this.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm still part of the people who are generally more or highly suggestible.
Yes.
I'm still quite open. So it's really, if I'm going to bed and watch a TV show like Black Mirror, I will not sleep well. Yeah, I know that. So I have to be very careful what I watch in the before I go to bed, or what I consume before I go to bed. Yeah. So be very aware of what you're doing before you go to sleep, especially if you might be a bit more openable and more highly suggestible. And people who can't watch horror movies at all are more likely higher suggestible than others. Which might be quite good for working with hypnosis, working with my HypnoBox app, or other sorts of trance work.
That's true. That's a good moment to talk about hypnobox.com, the app that you have created. So that's a great idea. Yeah, I feel the same way, though. I cannot watch anything that is violent, be exposed to anything that's too charged, energetically charged, because then, I can't sleep. I'm thinking for days about it. So how does it work, Bernhard, the hypnobox.com, the app?
Well, HypnoBox is an audio-guided app where, like guided meditation, it's just guiding you in a deeper state than a meditation. Yeah. So the meditative state is more focused on awareness. Hypnosis is focused more on a much deeper relaxation state in which your subconscious is more open for the suggestions that are given there. So what the HypnoBox does is you have the choice between 600 audio elements, so you can create your own hypnotic sessions and journeys there as you like. So completely individualize that. And this is when I had the idea of an hypnosis app. For me, it was important. Hey, it needs to be very, very so personalizable, let's say it like this. Yeah. So choosing what is the music that I like, choosing male or female voice. Yeah. So these are all points which I added there. You can import your own suggestion, record your own things. So this is a really great tool for almost all the topics that are existing there, all emotional topics, habits, and so on. Losing weight, self-worth a lot, all these important topics. We also have very, very deep hypnosis sessions where you can go into ultra deep hypnosis. So, it's just a fantastic tool for working on any topic that is there and create it as you want it as you like.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to work with ourselves. That's self-healing, right? Self-hypnosis. So we don't need to, especially before going to bed, as you said, we are most, the mind is more open, right? Receptive.
Perfect. Yeah, especially for people with sleeping issues, use the app. It will guide you into a deep state of sleeping. You leave out the wake up at the end. And there are already a lot of prepared hypnosis session. You can really try the whole app for free. And there's a lot of free content as well. So just try it, especially before sleep. You go into the trance state, into this hypnotic state anyway, and having that filled up with suggestions, it's perfect actually. You will take it into the sleep, it can sink in, you will wake up in a much positive way. Hypnosis changed my life, and I would also say it saved my life. And I experiment so much with hypnosis, with self-hypnosis, with meditation, that there is also a best of the best content that is there, because it's so much that people can have a look at. Hey, this is really, really good content here. I can use it for me. This resonates with me. I need this, I need that.
Yes, right. It's personalized. We can relate to it
exactly
at a deeper level, intimate level. That's beautiful, though. I love this work that you're doing, especially because it's coming from your own experience. And then, of course, intuitively, what it tells me is that it's compassion. So feeling how much this helped you, and then now you are compassionate enough, per se, to help others. So that's really what we need to see more in this reality. Not just doing things for ourselves, right, Bernhard, but what's beneficial for us should be for others too. So it's basically sharing healing in spirituality.
Exactly. And I'm super happy. I have at least 10 clients who have been here and who are hypnotherapists by themselves now. It's also spreading, and I love that I was inspired and also can be the inspiration. I'm super grateful about that. And I'm grateful that people love the app, that they appreciate that they see and feel the value, see the changes. And our CTO, he's such a great man, Sebastian. He said once, hey, always when I feel a bit bad, I'm just reading HypnoBox reviews and I feel good again. Because people are writing so nice things about the app. They say, it's so nice. It gives us a lot of also sense in what we're doing, But also your work, hey, spreading healing ideas, supporting people, giving them support or ideas. This is what is needed on this planet, to support each other, to help each other, and there are different ways to it. And you're interviewing so many healers, so many teachers, there are so many doors that you can open to get onto this path.
Right, yes. And they are all over the world. It's amazing, incredible human beings who are doing this work, healers, spiritual teachers, coaches, and hypnotherapists like yourself, and therapists. It's just incredible. And then sometimes when, my team finds them, and then they say, how did you find me? Things almost like they're hidden. Nobody knew about them. How did you find me? So yes, that's what that's what is, in a way, I mean, I know at the ultimate level, everything is fine, everything is well. But at this level, the physical reality here, we do need to help one another, yes, to get to that place of unconditional love for ourselves and others and the planet.
And the planet. And when sometimes this is crazy when we look at the world, what's going on, we know, hey, there's much more love needed. Especially for the people who are so disconnected.
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. That's it. We're almost at the end. And I had a question here for you. So the conditions that you help people to heal from, I didn't see the word addiction there. I know smoking is there, which is related to addiction, phobias, right? I guess I'm not sure if they are related to addictions, but why you didn't use the word addiction, like for alcohol or drug use?
I have a lot of requests about that, and I'm talking with the people and seeing first what level of addictions are they in. Because if you come to legal level, also here in Germany, if there's someone who is fully alcohol addicted and drinks a bottle of whiskey, to do just hypnosis with them is dangerous. That's why I'm working with addiction in cooperation, often with clinics, because I'm working with an emotional background. But if there's also a physical addiction, there needs to be cooperation with some hospital or clinic who specialized on that. So this is also a legal thing, but of course it is very important to work with the emotional background, with emotional reasons behind addiction. But I'm also working with that, especially if people coming from rehab, or I'm supporting them during the rehab. I also work online with people, from all about the world. So HypnoBox, especially in the US. US is our biggest market for HypnoBox. Even we're a German product. I have lots of clients also from the US who I work online with. So this is also, of course, a big topic I'm working with. Beneath anxiety. I think anxiety is still the biggest topic. Anxiety is also, from my point of view, one of the best things you can work with hypnotherapy with, because this is very good to, let's say, to reprogram. To bring in new evaluation there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. Right, it was just curiosity when I looked at it. Oh, addiction's not here.
But people are asking, and then we have to evaluate. Okay, where are we there, and how bad is it? Let's say like this also.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it what kind of pattern? What kind of pattern is it? Yeah, is it, hey, I'm once a month I'm doing some cocaine, and always when I drink alcohol. There's something else. If it's like, hey, I'm doing cocaine, like 3 grams a day, it's differently, of course.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it depends on the case, right? It has to be evaluated.
Yes, exactly, and that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love that too. So you running a healing business that's very conscious itself. that makes a lot of sense. Of course, we have to bring ourselves everywhere, right, Bernhard? So we cannot just do things just as a transaction. No. We are here to to help one another genuinely.
Exactly, and then I have to say, am I the right one to help there now? And I have to know also where am I good in? What is my specialty? And I'm very honest about that. And I want the people to leave here and feel then really good, and that is always my intention, And I'm so grateful that people come here and give me that trust. It's just, I'm working with them like, I don't know, sometimes 1 session, 4 sessions, 5 sessions, but that's normally it. It's short-term therapy, and it's amazing how deep you can go into connection and how much trust people are giving you in that moment also, because of course hypnosis is something intimate, and I'm very grateful that people come here and trust me.
Yes, and we know the human connection is a big component of healing.
Oh,
so that's another one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Bernhard, for your work, for your intention, your mission, and everything that you're doing to help yourself and others. It's truly beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thanks again, yeah.
And before we say goodbye for today, where's the best place to go to find more information about you and your work?
You can go to my website. It's called bernhard-teves.com or KIEZ-Hypnose.de or hypnobox.com. These are all sites where you can find information about me. You can maybe put it into the show notes so people can find me. Try the app for free. If you can book a free call with me for a consultation. That's no problem. So we can see how I can help you. Of course, I'm doing also speaker events. I'm doing mentoring for hypnotherapists. So I have a wide range. I'm doing workshops. I'm having a workshop space here in Berlin as well, where I give workshops, hypnosis workshops, meditation workshops, a lot of interesting things. So just come by my website and find out what is happening here.
Yes, I'll have the links on the show notes on the podcast profile page.
Awesome.
Thank you again, Bernhard, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Bernhard Teves and his work, please visit KIEZ-Hypnose.de/en or Bernhard-Tews.com/en and hypnobox.com.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.